A pregnancy-safe skincare routine that still includes actives, because when someone becomes pregnant, that doesn't automatically mean that they stop breaking out. And in many cases, hormonal changes that come along with pregnancy can actually cause people to get acne and blemishes or even some hyperpigmentation. While there are some amazing ingredients that we know work for things like hyperpigmentation and acne blemishes, some of those, such as retinoids and salicylic acid, are not approved for use when someone is pregnant. And because of that, things can get a bit trickier. That is why this routine contains pregnancy-safe actives, and even if you're just struggling with sensitive skin and you still have some melasma or breakouts, these can be some great options as well. So if you're pregnant, first off, congratulations! That's awesome! And second off, the health of you and your baby is of the utmost importance. Now, because of that, you should obviously be speaking to your dermatologist and your OBGYN just to make sure that you are happy and healthy, and that includes not only skincare, but all of the things that you use on your body during this time. It's not something to stress out about, it's just something to be aware of. And although all of these ingredients and products are considered safe, if not helpful during pregnancy, especially if you have sensitive skin or if you have any concerns, you should always bring it back to your doctor first. Unfortunately, there are some ingredients that doctors and dermatologists don't recommend during pregnancy. This includes retinoids. Retinoids are natural, they are vitamin A, and our body makes them naturally. But knowing what oral vitamin A or Accutane does to the body and how it can cause issues with fetal development, retinoids are not approved for use either internally or topically on the face. This means no retinol, no retinal, no HPR, definitely no tretinoin. We have to leave those retinoids at home. Salicylic acid is another ingredient that is often used to treat acne, but unfortunately, when someone is pregnant, it is not recommended. Benzoyl peroxide as well, while some people consider it safe, other people do not, and overall you don't want to strip the skin. That's why we do have options like azelaic acid that can help. Hydroquinone is often used for the treatment of dark spots or pigmentation, but during pregnancy this is something you should avoid. But the good news is that vitamin C can still be an option, and some doctors and dermatologists even approve mild AHA acids such as lactic. And of course we know that SPF is our BFF, so we have some options for this too. But when it actually comes to building a pregnancy-safe skincare routine, where is the best place to start? There are actually options for customized skincare routines, and some of them actually have pregnancy-safe skincare in mind. This is a brand called Yours. I've tried this out previously when I tested a whole bunch of custom skincare, and although everything that they have is cruelty-free, they do actually have an option where you can toggle on for vegan or for pregnancy-safe. And for me, I chose the vegan ones, and for this set, I did choose pregnancy-safe. Do not get suspicious because the answer is no, but a lot of beautiful butterflies, especially in our Discord and our private Acne Warrior Facebook communities, have been mentioned that they're breaking out and they are pregnant, and they are wanting some pregnancy-safe routines. Love from Yours is also partnering with us on a portion of this video, but we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. It's basically this customized skincare brand, and it's actually customized. It's not just like, oh, we're just gonna mix something in and pretend that it's customized to you, like some of those other things did, or God forbid, making you mix them yourself. But these are actually customized, made in Sweden, and tailored to each person's skin. And the way that they do this is by asking you a quiz. You see, the founder, we've actually featured her in some videos on female-founded brands, and she basically took her knowledge of AI and machine learning and brought that into skincare. So yes, they ask you what location you are at, which actually helps them look at the weather, the humidity, the UV index that's hitting your face, and make suggestions and actually custom blend formulas based on that. Now, they do have a skin scanner as well that can help to identify some areas in the skin that might need more help, and especially when someone is pregnant or even breastfeeding, hormonal changes in the body can cause changes in the skin, such as melasma. There is commonly a melasma mask that happens during pregnancy, or some people who have never dealt with acne might be breaking out for the first time. And having a way to actually scan the skin and take a photo and actually document that journey to see how your skin is changing and what products might be helping or hurting is really good, because when you look at your face in the mirror every single day, it's hard to see changes. But if you're actually documenting this, or if you have an application that can look at those areas of redness and actually take those data points and actually create recommendations, it's no longer a guessing game, and you can actually see your progress through time. They do have this pregnancy option where if you just toggle that on, they will ensure that all of your products are pregnancy safe, and this right here is a first step cloud cleanser. This is quite lovely, I must say. It comes off as this wonderful foamy cloud, and it smells like my grandmother's rosemary garden. The whole thing with foaming cleansers are that a lot of people don't like to use them. They claim that they are too stripping, or they say they're going to damage or degrade the skin. This could be true true in some cases, but if you have a cleanser that foams not because of the ingredients, but because of the pump and the way it's created, that actually allows you to get that foamy feel without overly stripping the skin. This one is definitely like a little happy cloud, and if you actually wanted something for removing makeup, this does do a really good job. Another pregnancy safe option for like makeup removal would be something like the Inkey List's Oat Cleansing Balm. It's a really good one. It does a good number on mascara, liquid lipstick, etc. And if you use that, just don't leave it on the face because it's kind of greasy unless you have super dry skin. So if this is your main cleanse, then this is an option as a toner. Again, these all come within this pregnancy safe set. And this one is the Bounce Back Balancing Toner. This one does have niacinamide as well as Saccharomyces and a yeast ferment. So this actually compares to a very luxurious fermented type of toner, but it is definitely a fraction of the cost. This one doesn't have anything such as salicylic acid, so it is pregnancy safe, but for skin that is kind of struggling with a little bit of breaking out or needs some barrier support, the niacinamide in here can really help to increase ceramide production and regulate oil production within the skin. Now these day and night serums and moisturizers are the main shebang, and these are the pieces that are customized to each person's skin depending on what you need. And obviously what I put in for my oily acne prone skin who lives in the Bay Area is going to be different than what somebody else gets. But each of these are going to have a custom blend depending on what people need. And if you have allergies, you can actually mention that so that they can leave them out. A lot of these do have really good antioxidant blends that work well with the moisturizer and with other ingredients that you might put on the skin. And one of those might be azelaic acid. As we mentioned, for pregnancy, salicylic acid and retinoids shouldn't be used, but thankfully if you are breaking out and have acne, azelaic acid is a really great option. This is normally spoken about in terms of rosacea and pustular rosacea, but it's a really great and relatively underrated ingredient for acne as well. Azelaic acid is a dicarboxylic acid. You can use it day or night, and you can spread it all over the face, including areas that you're breaking out. Azelaic acid is fantastic, especially if you're pregnant. Here are some over-the-counter options, and if you want, there are also prescription forms that you can get from a dermatologist or doctor. Azelaic acid should be used all over and not just as a spot treatment. I would recommend kind of putting it in an even layer, and just make sure that your azelaic acid doesn't get chunky underneath your other serums or moisturizers. When it comes to my little custom blend, I did try out the pregnancy safe one just to see what the differences were, and I noticed that the Java Balance Serum is actually very similar. This is a really luminous day serum that just goes onto the skin and hydrates. It nourishes. This, for me, also has ingredients that can help keep my oil production under control and doesn't make me look overly greasy in the sunshine. It really dries down nicely and it goes perfectly underneath sunscreen or makeup. They also have this matte and moist moisturizer, which for my skin type is ideal. If you have dry skin, this might not be the right one for you, but for me, this is fantastic. It almost reminds me of like a strawberry jello, like a hydrating strawberry jello, but that dries down a little bit more mattified. And this is nice because it's a light gel that doesn't make my skin feel swallowed, but it's also got some of those antioxidants like vitamin C that can really support the skin, especially if you are struggling with something like mild dark spots or pigmentation that is flaring up a little bit. But before we go on tonight, you know that SPF is what? Your BFF, and I do have two options that are pregnancy safe. Again, sunscreens are an anti-cancer drug. Derms and doctors do recommend them, including during pregnancy, but you should always speak with your doctor to find out what's best for your needs. Some doctors and derms avoid some of the organic sunscreens, again, the ones that are based on carbon and that are known as chemical sunscreens, and some go for inorganic or mineral because they tend to have less reactions on the skin and burn and sting less, but both are really good options. It just depends on your skin. Now, both of these are mineral options, but I do want to recommend this one, especially if you are struggling with melasma or if you are struggling with sunspots. This one is the Isden Photo. It is ultralight and it is a broad spectrum SPF 50 plus. It's 100% mineral, it is water resistant, and again, we still want to protect against the UVA and UVB damage. Vegan, cruelty-free, goes onto the skin really beautifully, and it's definitely worth the price tag. And if you wanted an option for body, this one from Clior is also seen as pregnancy safe, and especially if you have super sensitive skin, Clior makes a lot of products that are not just derm tested, but derm recommended to actually help with supporting the skin. This is a good one for the body. Dr. Dre got me to buy this. However, it is a little bit paste city, so just keep that in mind. It definitely doesn't rub in as beautifully as the Isden one does. It just needs a little bit of love, a little bit of elbow grease. Yours does have a sunscreen, but their sunscreen is not pregnancy safe, so just keep that in mind. But their night creams are, and you know that this one right here, the Milky Way night cream, is one of my ride or dies. The Drops of Softness serum is the one that was was customized to me. Again, it has a lot of ingredients that are really antioxidant boosts and help with barrier support, especially at night if you want to repair a damaged skin barrier. This is a great one. Now, obviously, my formula is going to be different from somebody else's, but I will say that this was a different formula. It's slightly thinner and more of a lightweight than the other serum that I tried in the past. But then we get to this, my beautiful, wonderful Milky Way night cream. And this, even though it was customized to my skin to be pregnancy safe, it is phenomenal. It is super cloud-like, super fluffy. Like I could literally just ride a spaceship into Jupiter's dust, and this is the soft silkiness that I believe I would feel. I am obsessed with this. The good news is that you can actually buy this even if it's not part of the kit. You can get these on their own, but overall I am freaking obsessed and I adore this one. It's not overly greasy, but it still locks things in for me at night. I love this. Now, if you are looking for something that is overly greasy, yes, things like Petrolatum Jelly or Vaseline still work. If you wanted to use this on very dry, eczema-prone skin, around the lips, maybe around, some cracked skin or something like that, Petrolatum Jelly, it's really basic, but it is really effective. And if you are in a super dry climate, you are looking for something fragrance-free, super occlusive, this one might be it. For those who are really struggling with acne, let's not forget pimple patches. Now, some pimple patches aren't a fit because, again, some of them are really good but have salicylic acid, which we don't want to use at this time. I think it's a minuscule amount, but it's still better to be safe than sorry. But the good news is that the Hero Patch Originals, the ones in the red packet, are pregnancy safe. They are just your basic hydrocolloid bandages. They kind of gel up and they really help to mitigate a pimple and also stop people from picking. As far as advanced treatments and procedures go, there are some that are okay and some that are not recommended. Specifically, fillers and Botox should be avoided. This also includes laser. You can definitely use them after pregnancy and during breastfeeding, but during pregnancy, most practitioners are going to refuse to do them. However, treatments like microdermabrasion and microneedling can potentially be done during pregnancy. Just make sure that it's always done by a physician or someone acting and working underneath a physician, and that it's done in a sterile, sanitized, and proper manner. Since microneedling can go very, very wrong, you should not be doing it at home. Make sure it's done by someone properly. And the same goes for microdermabrasion. As someone who is not a parent, I cannot imagine how difficult it is to navigate choosing skincare for yourself or products for you to eat or consume or to nourish this baby. Like, you have a baby inside of you? Dude, you're growing a freaking human? That is so fucking cool. Like, I'm proud of you. But I can imagine that skincare can already be complex and overwhelming enough, and now layering on the safety and the necessities and the do's and don'ts of pregnancy, I can't even imagine how frustrating that is. But I hope this clears some things up, maybe even your skin, and the best part is that yours is actually giving people a discount. For mothers-to-be, they're offering 16% off with a specific code MOM, and they're also doing a sweepstakes where you can actually win a customized skincare set for free. The details for the sweepstakes are included in the description box below, but if you want to just use that code MOM, you can get the customized set of pregnancy-safe skincare for 16% off regardless of the sweepstakes. There are many other changes that can happen to the skin during pregnancy, specifically when it does come to things like hyperpigmentation and melasma, and that's why please remember that SPF is your BFF. It is one of the most important steps in a routine, and overall, even when growing a tiny little human inside of you and maybe having morning sickness or staying up late because of night sweats, you still deserve to take care of yourself and to feel good in your skin. It's not about having perfect skin, it's about understanding what's going on and feeling empowered by your choices or the products you get to use in order to care for that and really just to care for you. For me, my evening and morning skincare routines are kind of like a little moment of self-love every day. It's kind of a way for me to hit reset and get into a positive mindset. And for people who see skincare as a chore, I hope that we can start to reframe that and see it as a choice and something that is self-care that we can enjoy because we want to. And it's about feeling, not just looking a certain way. Overall, do remember to be beautiful both inside and out. I love you, beautiful butterflies, and I cannot wait to see you and potentially your tiny little human that you grew in this next video. Love you guys. Bye. Let's knock this out of the park, and by knock I mean gently knock on the door.